Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome to have you here again. I really hope you're crushing it today, no matter where you're watching from around this amazing world of ours. Now, we need to dive into some serious XRP news today, and honestly, this caught my attention immediately. Binance's XRP holdings just dropped to record lows, and trust me, this is something we absolutely need to talk about. This is causing a massive liquidity freeze, and let me tell you, everyone in the crypto space is buzzing about this right now. XRP's supply on Binance has literally hit rock bottom. And here's the thing that's got everyone divided. Is this a crystal clear signal that big institutions are scooping up everything they can get their hands on? Or are we looking at retail investors just completely backing away from XRP? That's the million-dollar question everyone's trying to figure out. Get this. We're talking about 300 million XRP that just vanished since early October. That's absolutely massive. You know what's crazy? We all knew XRP scarcity was coming eventually, but we figured it was still years down the road, right? Well, plot twist. Here we are in 2025, and scarcity is literally the hottest topic in every crypto conversation. I mean, just look around. Every single article dropping these days is talking about scarcity. And honestly, I'm seeing people flood Jake Claver's mentions all day long, asking the same burning question. When is XRP going to completely dry up on the over-the-counter markets and in the dark pools? Here's what's blowing everyone's minds. For the very first time, we're actually wondering if 100 billion XRP might not be enough to go around. Can you believe that? We went from thinking there's plenty for everyone to potentially running short. Okay, this is actually pretty huge. You can now buy XRP directly through Apple Pay and Google Pay in 40 countries. We're talking about a brand new app from swap.com that lets you grab XRP in just 3 simple steps. And here's why I'm genuinely excited about this. When you make something ridiculously easy to use, people will actually use it. It's that simple. Now, this is going to bring a ton of new people into the crypto world. Sure, they might not even start with XRP. They could jump in through Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever catches their eye first. But here's the beautiful thing that happens next. Once these newcomers start diving deeper and really understanding which cryptocurrencies are building the future financial system versus which ones are just riding the hype wave, they naturally gravitate toward real, solid value. I absolutely love how incredibly user-friendly this whole process is. We're talking about removing every possible barrier between regular people and crypto, and that's exactly what mass adoption looks like. This is the perfect wake-up call for why you should never ever keep your XRP sitting on an exchange. Watch this pattern. Every single time we're about to see a massive breakout, boom, suddenly the exchange has technical difficulties. Sound familiar? Look what just happened with CME futures. They got halted right when silver and gold were ready to absolutely explode. And I'm telling you right now, the exact same thing is going to happen with XRP. Picture this. XRP finally breaks into true price discovery mode. And what do you think happens next? Yep, exchanges start mysteriously halting trades left and right. All of a sudden, you can't sell, you can't buy, you're completely locked out while the action is happening. Then, conveniently, once the price dips back down a bit, magically, the exchange comes back online like nothing happened. Classic move, right? This is exactly why the golden rule exists. Not your keys, not your crypto. Here's what you do instead. Connect your wallet directly to the XRP Ledger, and you can make swaps right on the DEXs. Google literally walks you through the whole process step by step. And you know what Paul Barron says about all this? And so it begins. He's absolutely right. We're watching history unfold right before our eyes. Now check this out. This is absolutely massive. Ripple's RLUSD just got officially recognized as an accepted fiat reference token for use within Abu Dhabi's ADGM. Think about what this actually means. RLUSD is now being treated as legitimate fiat currency in the UAE. We're not talking about some small regional acceptance here. This is one of the world's major financial hubs saying, yes, we recognize this as real money. And honestly, I'm genuinely excited about this development because it shows we're moving from experimental crypto into real-world, government-backed utility. This isn't just adoption, this is validation at the highest levels. So here's what's happening next. They're going to start using RLUSD for all their cross-border payments. But here's where it gets really interesting. Once they see how smooth RLUSD works for international transfers, they're probably going to discover something even better. XRP can make those same cross-border payments even faster and way cheaper than RLUSD. But you know what? It honestly doesn't even matter which one they choose, and here's why. RLUSD is most likely going to be running on the XRP Ledger anyway. And this is the beautiful part that a lot of people miss. Every single time value moves across the XRP Ledger, whether it's RLUSD, XRP, or anything else, it's adding real utility and driving up the value of XRP itself. It's like owning the highway that everyone has to drive on. The more traffic, the more valuable your highway becomes. Pretty smart setup, right? Wow, look at this milestone. Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin just smashed through the $1 billion supply mark on Ethereum. That's absolutely incredible growth. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Hasn't Ripple been focusing more on the XRP ledger lately? And you're totally right. The last 10 mints actually happened on the XRP ledger, which shows they're definitely prioritizing their home turf. But here's the thing. Seeing RLUSD continue to build this kind of serious momentum across different networks is exactly what we want to see. This isn't just growth, this is explosive adoption. I've been saying this for a while now, and I'm sticking to it. RLUSD is eventually going to crack into the top 10 stablecoins. But I actually think it's going to go way beyond that. Give it time, and I genuinely believe we're looking at the future #1 stablecoin right here. The momentum is real. The adoption is growing, and we're just getting started. So Pundit is saying XRP has basically been this speculative asset just sitting there, waiting for the next big rally to hit. Meanwhile, CryptoEri brings up an interesting point. She's saying that because the XRP ledger doesn't have native smart contracts, it has to rely on other protocols for things like yield, utility, and staking. And guess what she's promoting in her post? Flare! Now listen, I absolutely love Flare, don't get me wrong. I genuinely think it's going to be an absolute monster in this space, and it's definitely going to bring tons of utility to the XRP ecosystem. But here's where I have to push back a little. I'm not buying into this whole XRP versus Flare narrative that some people are pushing. That's just not how I see it playing out. These two are going to work together beautifully. They're going to complement each other perfectly, like pieces of the same puzzle. But at the end of the day, when I'm looking at where the real value lies long-term, I still see way more upside potential in XRP itself. Now David Schwartz is throwing in his 2 cents, saying Ripple should have prioritized smart contract capabilities on the XRP ledger way sooner. And you know what? He's probably got a point there. But here's the good news. We now know they've actually got a smart contract solution in the works. This isn't just wishful thinking anymore. This is real development happening right now. Ripple started exploring smart contract capabilities on the XRP ledger last year, and honestly, the progress has been pretty impressive. They've already got some serious results to show for it. The feature was deployed on the XRP ledger's testnet earlier this year, which means developers are already getting their hands dirty testing it out before it goes live on the mainnet. So while David might be right that they could have started this journey earlier, the reality is they've already cracked the code on smart contracts. And when this eventually rolls out to everyone, it's going to be absolutely game-changing for the XRP ledger. Better late than never, right? And sometimes the wait is worth it when you get it right. Once this smart contract functionality goes live, you're going to see tons of exciting projects start onboarding left and right. It's going to be amazing to watch. Now, don't get me wrong, Flare absolutely adds incredible utility to XRP. It opens up opportunities for you to stake your XRP and actually earn rewards with it, which is pretty awesome. But here's where I disagree with what CryptoEri seems to be suggesting. I don't think this is a zero-sum game at all. One isn't going to cancel out the other, you know? It's more like having multiple tools in your toolbox. Each one serves a purpose, and together, they make the whole XRP ecosystem stronger and more versatile. Why limit ourselves to just one solution when we can have the best of both worlds? This report from Cyprus is absolutely mind-blowing, and it's about to change how we think about crypto forever. Most people are still obsessed with daily price movements, but the next massive shift is going to be all about cryptography itself. Here's what this report reveals. The encryption that keeps today's digital system safe, including all our beloved blockchains, is eventually going to get completely shattered by quantum computing. Think about that for a second. This means any crypto asset that wants to survive long-term better be built on quantum-resistant foundations, or at least be ready to adapt quickly. We're literally talking about a once-in-human-history event where the entire security backbone of the internet, banking, and digital value has to get a complete overhaul. For us long-term investors, the assets and networks that are preparing for post-quantum cryptography right now are going to be the only ones we can actually trust when this shift happens. I've always said XRP goes way beyond just being quantum-proof. We already know XRP will be quantum-resistant before quantum computers even become a real threat. But let's get real about price for a minute. I'm always telling people, stop staring at today's price. Instead, ask yourself, where's this going to be in a month, 2 months, a year from now? We're literally standing on the edge of institutional adoption, which is going to trigger mass adoption like we've never seen. And here's the kicker. Most of the cryptocurrencies floating around today are going to completely disappear once regulations roll in. Think about this. Where do you think all that liquidity sitting in those doomed cryptos is going to flow? Straight into the cryptocurrencies that actually survive this regulatory bottleneck. Brad Garlinghouse knows it. Lehman Baird from Hedera has said it too. Industry leaders are literally warning everyone right now. If you're holding a crypto with no real value or real-world use case, it's probably going to vanish when regulations arrive. The cryptocurrencies that make it through? They're going to absolutely skyrocket because that's where all the money will be rushing. I honestly think out of all the thousands of cryptocurrencies we see today, maybe only 100 will still exist in the future. Now, speaking of survival, let's check out the XRP rich list. Alright, check out this updated rich list. And wow, everyone's buzzing about this. People keep saying it takes less and less XRP to get into that coveted 1% club. But here's what's really going on behind the scenes, and it's actually pretty exciting. People simply aren't selling their XRP. They're holding on tight. What we're seeing instead is new wallets getting created every single day. And I mean every day. I know fresh investors are jumping into this space constantly because I see them all over X. You can totally tell by the questions they're asking and the cryptos they're talking about. Now, most of these newcomers, they're still in that phase where they're chasing shiny meme coins and the latest hype. We've all been there, right? But here's the beautiful thing. Eventually, they all discover the real value and end up gravitating toward actual utility. It's like a natural evolution in crypto. The rich list isn't shrinking because people are selling. That's just not what's happening. It's actually the complete opposite. More and more people are piling into XRP, and they're staying put. And you know what? We're seeing the exact same pattern with XLM, XDC, HBAR, and other solid utility tokens. People are waking up to real value, and once they find it, they're not letting go. Now this is really interesting. CBDC rollouts are actually slowing down big time as countries are hitting the pause button to reevaluate the risks involved. And honestly, I think I know exactly what's happening here. The reason why so many of these countries are suddenly getting cold feet about launching their central bank digital currencies is pretty telling. It's because stablecoins are literally taking over the world right now. Every single country wants their own digital currency, whether that's through a central bank digital currency or a stablecoin. But here's the million-dollar question. Who's actually going to use a CBDC when they've got way better stablecoin options available? And that's exactly what's happening right now. I think this is what's putting the brakes on CBDCs, and honestly, it might push a lot of these countries to completely abandon the CBDC idea. And you know what? That would be absolutely incredible. Because let me tell you, nobody actually wants the CBDC system. Just imagine having a currency that literally expires over time. They could claw it back whenever they want. They could control exactly what you buy with it, all controlled by the central bank. I'd much rather have a stablecoin issued by a private company any day. Now, RLUSD can be clawed back, and I think that feature had to exist because of sanctions and preventing illicit activity. But here's what I need to stress. XRP absolutely cannot be clawed back. I see people spreading this myth that Ripple could somehow pull your XRP right out of your cold wallet. That's literally impossible. You simply can't claw back XRP. I'd love to see other countries go the stablecoin route too because it's going to be so much better for their citizens long term. But this is exactly what's killing CBDCs right now. Stablecoins are just the superior option. The digital dollar is still going to be essential though, because they want to reach places where the physical dollar can't go right now. Think third world countries and underserved regions. That's why this has always been about creating a level playing field and banking the unbanked. Because that unbanked population? It's massive. If they can get US dollars into the hands of the unbanked, it's going to make the US dollar even stronger. I think that was the whole vision behind digital currency from the beginning, like a digital dollar. But here's the thing. In stablecoin form, way more people would actually use it for everyday purchases. People will adopt a stablecoin long before they ever touch a CBDC. And you know what doesn't matter for us XRP holders? None of this affects us because XRP can move any form of value. The dollar in fiat form, in its current form, in digital form. Even if we had a CBDC tomorrow, XRP could still move it because it can transfer anything of value. And that's exactly why we're going to come out on top in the end. But until that happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's build this wealth together. Alright everyone, that's a wrap on this video. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. You guys are amazing and I genuinely appreciate all of you. I'll catch you in the next one and have an awesome night.